Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. AJ here with some more Fullmetal Alchemist today. Today is episode 40. Wow, we are getting through this series. Thank you for sticking with me all the way through this. This has been quite the journey. Episode 40, Homunculus. Oh, the dwarf in the flask. I was like, that's a pretty bland episode title this late into the series. Okay. Maybe we're gonna get to the origin of how homunculi were first thought of as an idea, or something like that. Like maybe we're gonna get the Pride's creation and how Father and Hohenheim connected all this. What was last episode? Oh yeah, last episode was mostly just the plan to try to disgrace Kimberly, and also I apologize for the lighting situation today. I usually like using natural lighting, but my normal recording time that I usually do is not going to be available tomorrow, so I have to use my artificial lighting because it's pretty late right now. What else happened last episode? I'm sure I'll remember as I'm watching it. I know it was a lot of people were on the move, and Scar agreed to transcribe that Ishvalan thing, or I think it was in ancient Ishvalan writing or whatever. Yeah, I know where we're at. I'll just keep it at that. I don't feel like recapping last episode. I'd rather just get started. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get started because I haven't edited last week's yet, but it's still pretty fresh in my mind. First anime ever that has no bad songs, like opening and ending songs. I don't have any issue with any of them so far. All been pretty good, all things considered. Oh, those all of our good guys. I feel like I've heard the song somewhere. It sounds so familiar. Outside of me watching it last week. Let's do it. Let's go.
So you think that General
Right.
Armstrong had something to do with
She got called back to Central.
disappearance?
The only thing we have to worry about is holding down this fort.
Quite
As
literally.
for the general,
It's pretty cool seeing her. Oh, there we
General
go.
Armstrong, how nice to see you. Well, sometime we should grab some dinner.
Your treat? I hope you know I could eat you into bankruptcy.
Maybe we should skip dinner then.
I see. You're short on both money and nerve, huh?
Maybe I could offer some flowers instead.
He has a whole bunch of
There
those.
are many fine florists here in Central.
you may enter.
Sir!
I don't like how serious he already looks.
I assume you'll be needing someone to fill that fool's vacant seat.
Interesting.
How well
I
can
like the way you play.
Bradley read
Very well.
her intentions?
You
Oh
can have
God.
General Raven's seat, but as I expect you'll understand, my men will take over Fort Briggs.
My soldiers are extremely strong and well-trained, sir. I guarantee they will serve you well, Your Excellency.
I'm sure they will. I appreciate the sacrifice, General.
I hope she's fooling him,
To steal a
but I feel like
you have to
you can't fool him. I don't know.
Seems like the general's landed herself right in the middle of it.
But I feel like
Yeah. And now this place
General
is there,
Armstrong's
too.
just like too competent of
There's one thing they don't know.
a person to
Although our leader might be gone,
not be successful in what she wants in what she sets out to
we
do.
act with one will.
Celine Bradley as a homunculus.
Damn.
I'd say impossible. But then there is no such thing.
Well,
What in the world is about to happen here in Central?
I'm glad she got that word out at the very least. You could have also did a secret message of he operates in the shadows, quite literally. That probably would have been too much to say on paper, in code. Ooh, this is exactly what I wanted.
Oh no!
It's all right. Look.
And
over here.
that's who we see in the very beginning of the first opening
Hey now.
credits of
Can't you
Full
please
Metal.
bring yourself to not your number.
Also, subtitles spoiled. They're calling this homunculus, which I guess this is the first homunculus.
You mean a person without any rights or freedoms? Someone trafficked and deeded as a possession?
Yup.
Deeded? What's that?
And specifically, this is father that they just cut to.
Von Hohenheim. How does that sound?
Sure.
So Von Hohenheim, huh?
It's a pretty cool
I
name.
think I can remember that.
You can call me the dwarf in the flats, homunculus.
It's a pretty long name. Oh god, we're getting everything. Okay. This is all I wanted this whole time. I want this so badly. Give us the whole story.
All things are made from one, and in the end, all things return to one.
Okay, narrator.
Words. One is all.
Indeed, and all is one as well.
Oh, it was a guy
All
talking.
is ultimately of the one. So if all is not included in the one, then all is nothing.
You have passed.
Maybe someday, I'll even be able to get married and have a family.
A family?
Man, how long has he been alive?
How inconvenient for...
We live for the bonds that we form with friends and family members. That's who we humans are.
This is true.
Whatever you say.
Okay then, what is it that makes you happy?
Power.
Well, I'd hate to be guilty of asking too much, but I think I'd be happy if I could just leave this flask. It's such an important source of knowledge.
I feel like this is gonna end with the dwarf in the flask basically
Growing impatient in your old
becoming a
age?
carbon copy of
Notable king of sorts.
Hohenheim, and that's why we have father and Hohenheim. I'm assuming.
Digging here for
How else do we get two of them?
Irrigation canals.
One has to be a copy of another.
Them to be dug all throughout the country.
Is this the beginning of a mistress?
Remember, there must be no survivors.
Oh boy.
Majesty, at long last, your transmutation circle
Oh.
is complete.
It's been, some time has passed.
Enough. Finally, it's done.
He doesn't become father, right? Because father looks just like Van Hohenheim. Never mind. Forget I said that.
king will achieve immortality.
Forget I made that prediction.
Yes, this is an amazing moment indeed.
Is that pride? Man, Hohenheim's lived a crazy life. Is this eye actually there? Like, not just like a symbolism type thing? There's just a giant eye right now, forming on the ground. And now there are two of them. And one ages and one doesn't? Seriously, why does father appear older than Hohenheim? And he's still not at the age that he is when Ed and Al are born. So, at least it doesn't look... He doesn't quite look that old yet. Oh, definitely dead. Come on. Maybe he does look the same age. He just isn't wearing his glasses yet.
Tony! Mayo!
Mayo. Mayonnaise.
Tell me,
Oh.
your body, how is it feeling?
It's me. Impossible.
Using your blood, I created a receptacle for myself. Are you?
So that's why they sound different, right? So it has the voice of his former king or whatever.
For your blood, the voices of all the people in this country who were offered in exchange for your immortality.
It's a lot of people.
Well, half of their lives were for me, actually.
Bro's haunted.
Von Hohenheim?
Oh
I
shit.
knew it.
But also, oh shit. Oh, I don't want anything to happen to her.
Finally. They were fine.
You guys both going to the same place? What's going on here?
What is it? I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Hang on,
I don't know
Izumi.
if that was necessarily a kill shot. I think he was trying to do something. Yeah.
But my breathing, it's easier.
How can that be?
I think he was just apologizing for the pain he was about to inflict.
Impossible.
Philosopher's Stone in the form of a man. That's what I am.
That was an epic episode. Oh my god. I am so happy. We finally got some additional answers. It looks like there's plenty of time left for a post-credit scene in this episode, so I'm going to keep the credits playing while I talk. Yeah, I know. I always... the second that this episode started, I was like, okay, we're going to see how Father was created from Hohenheim. I kind of thought... I forget if I said it in the previous video, but I kind of thought that's what was happening, is that Hohenheim was older than Father. But Father is aging, though, clearly. Or at least he appears to be older. I'm not sure if it's the lighting or if he actually is older than appearance-wise older than Hohenheim. Because we know Hohenheim doesn't age. We can then assume that Father either ages much more slowly or needs constant sustenance from people or whatever to maintain his youth, and maybe he's been slacking recently. Alright. Let's see, we're getting anything here.
Create a Philosopher's Stone that big, you'd have to kill thousands of people. But I would never want to see it.
Well, you have, in the form of your father. To Father's motives, not Father, Hohenheim, he's very cryptic, and he obviously cares about Ed and Al. He was obviously once human, or kind of still is, but is now immortal. If you're immortal, are you still considered human, or is being mortal what makes you a human? Was that just totally a selfless act of him, quite literally rearranging Izumi's insides to improve the flow of blood better? Was he just being nice? Does he have any kind of ulterior motives? I feel like he's not working with Father, but I feel like Father would view Hohenheim as a threat. I don't know. Because Hohenheim seemingly knows Father's plans, because when he was telling, or maybe he can infer what Father's plans are. Remember when he was speaking to Winry's granny, basically saying maybe you should get out of this town or something along those lines a few episodes back. So I do wonder what Hohenheim's motives are and what he's willing to do to help. Whether it be help Father or help humanity. I'm assuming he's a good guy, or at least morally gray. I feel like he could be doing way more right now to help them out. So maybe he's just too in doubt of his abilities to help. I don't know. I'm curious to see where his story goes. He's definitely one of the more interesting characters. Yeah, I've been waiting for an episode like that. I love when anytime like an anime or any kind of story delves into the origins of a character, one of the villains, or just the world in general. Because who knows how old Hohenheim is. They certainly made it feel like hundreds of years at least. That's the kind of impression I got. Oh, right, and General Armstrong got to chat with Bradley. I'm excited to see them kind of exchange words and see who comes out on top of that, encounter. Because they've only shown... I think they've shown both of those characters, Bradley and General Armstrong, as probably the two most competent characters in terms of I don't know. They also both of those characters have a lot of what's the word? They definitely have a lot of self-confidence in their abilities and stuff like that. So I am curious to see how that goes, because I can't see General Armstrong getting bested by Bradley. I feel like Bradley wouldn't get bested by her either, but I feel like it would have to go in the good guy's favor. Who knows? But I'm glad that she's kind of in Central now, getting some action there, and we'll see more interactions between her and Bradley, her and Hawkeye. Mustang is what I meant to say, but also Hawkeye, and then also her brother, Alex Armstrong, Alex Luis Armstrong, whatever his name is. So I'm excited for that. I'm tired. I'm gonna end this one. I'm very excited to watch more next week, but I gotta end this here. I'm so tired, guys. Yeah, but that was a great episode. Probably one of the better ones I've seen in a minute. I think I've said that for a couple episodes recently, though. Honestly, I think it's just been kind of ramping up. There's a few slow ones in like the mid 30s, I think, but now we're kind of like, I feel like just upticking towards the climax of the show, considering we only have, I guess we still have 24 episodes to go, around there, so I guess we're not near the end yet, but it feels like we're getting there. Alright, I'm gonna end this here. You guys have a good one. I'll see you next week, alright? Bye.